For a free on-air reading, call now. 800-848-WABC. That's 800-848-9222. Here's Laura.
Oh, yes. Welcome back. It's Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. It's the show that takes you there with the greatest psychics, mediums, human potential, teachers, speakers, and so much more. Grateful to have you. This is the live portion of our show where, you get live readings. And, you know, it's it seems like something that, well, if you get it on the air, is it going to really mean the same thing as if you get an in-person reading? Actually, I pick the best of the best, and I am telling you, when Zenobia comes on, and we have been working together on the air in some capacity or other for the past 8 years, she gives you as much what's right in a minute as she does in an hour. But I would absolutely recommend going to see her for half an hour or an hour, because when you hear how much she'll give you here right now in a very short time, you'll see that you'll want to get a fuller in-person or over-the-phone reading. So welcome to the show, Zenobia.
Hi.
People love it when you're here. I get a lot of feedback when you're here. And if you'd like to see Zenobia, because she's so fantabulous, you've got to see her. She has purple and white going around the top of her hairline. I mean, she is so cool and so fabulous. You can see it by going to YouTube. We're on YouTube, Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. And we have our own YouTube channel there. So the whole thing is being videotaped right now, so you can see how fabulous she is and gorgeous. But as I said, people can get in touch with you for a longer reading. You are finally, and we promised the listeners, the last time that you were here, that you were going to have your website up. And so it must have been Mercury retrograde, because it's not up yet, but
yes.
It will be in what? 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yep. Promise in 2 weeks. 2
weeks. So Zenobia Simmons is her name. She will have a website in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with her to have a longer reading, you go to Zenobia Kay, and K is spelled
K-A-Y.
K-A-Y. So Zenobia Kay at AOL.com. And Zenobia is Z-E-N-O-B-I-A. That sounds like a great product or something. I don't know. No, actually, it's the name of a princess or something.
Queen. Yeah, Zenobia was the queen of Palmyra, and it's actually a family name. So every generation of my family, there's a Zenobia.
Well, they picked the right one to put that one on. I'll tell
you,
if they knew how fabulous and exotic you were going to be. Anyway, let's go to the phones. Thank you so much. We're going to go to Judy in Edison. Hi, what's your question for Zenobia? One question, please.
Yes, thank you for letting me have this chance. I'd like to know if my daughter, Andrea, is going to get closer to me, and if she cares about me, you know, if I'm moving to Georgia, with what they're over in Georgia.
Oh, so I just want to be clear. So you want to know you're moving to?
No, my daughter moved to Georgia in a job.
Okay.
And I don't know whether or not she cares about me. We've since the divorce. I just wanted to know if she really cares about me and loves me, and if she misses me at all, and if there's any caring there. And do you see me moving over there at all? Will we ever get closer, my daughter and I?
Okay.
Well, number one, from what I get, of course, she does miss you, and she cares about you a great deal. The issue is she feels kind of torn from what I'm getting when I tune into her, and she feels like she'll make someone else in the family kind of feel bad if they know that you two are in communication or in touch as frequently as she would like. But she definitely misses you a lot. And from what I'm seeing, a way that you could improve, the relationship with her is to reach out to her more. I know you feel like you have been the most active in terms of trying to heal things, but you have to just, keep pushing. And from what I'm seeing, yes, you will eventually end up moving there. So you two will be geographically closer as well as emotionally closer to each other. But, yes, she misses you and loves you a great deal.
Judy, thank you for starting our show tonight. Thank you so much. My guest is Zenobia Simmons. She's a wonderful psychic, wonderful human being as well. We're taking your phone calls. Mary in Westchester. Hey, Mary.
Hi.
Hi. What's your question for Zenobia?
Zenobia, I just feel lost in my love life. I can't find love, or if I did find love, it was with a soulmate who passed away. So I'm not sure, if I'll find it, if it's around me, just really about my love life.
Okay. Well, first, I'm very sorry for your loss. because from what I'm feeling, or from what I get when I tune into you, you haven't finished the healing process or the grieving process. So what I would suggest, or what I see will help you, is that if you do some kind of small ritual, it can even be something as simple as writing a letter to the soulmate that you felt is gone from here. And if you just write kind of a final goodbye, that'll give you some closure, and then that will allow the universe to send you another person that you can fall in love with, in another soulmate. Because I do see another person out there for you. And from what I get, if you do this kind of sooner rather than later, especially it looks like around the next full moon that's coming up, which I believe is fairly soon, then within, I'd say, 30 to 40 days, you'll be able to meet somebody. But yes, I do see love coming for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Mary. Much love to you. Let's go to Martha in Tenafly. Hey, Martha.
Hello.
Hi, Martha. What's your question for Zenobia?
Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm 85 and a half.
Wow.
I'm concerned about
God bless you.
my
You
health.
sound like you're 25.
That's amazing.
Congratulations. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead with your question. Oh,
I can barely hear you.
okay. What is your question for Zenobia? I threw you off there.
Yes. Well, I'm 85 and a half, and I'm concerned about my health.
Okay, so, well, from what I am getting, your health it looks like you've been paying attention to it a lot more, I would say, within the last 3 to 2 years, from what I'm getting.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it looks like you are on the correct path in terms of improving, or, because it looks like there's a health issue that you had about 10 years ago. It looks like you've been doing kind of your due diligence to take care of that. So it looks like that you're on a pretty good path. But now I think one of the challenges that might be facing you is that you have to continue what you've been doing in terms of living a healthier lifestyle, because it looks like that's really going to pay off. And it's definitely been working for you. So from what I get, I think you're on a pretty good path in terms to health. And if you had some concerns that problem that you had in the past, if that'll come back, I don't see it coming back. It looks like you're done with that. So looking towards the future, I would say you need to make sure that you keep up the health regimen that you've been doing, because it looks like that's paying off really well for you.
Because I'm concerned about the tingling in my legs.
Well, from what I get, it looks like, it sounds like it's it seems like it's a little simpler, the solution. And I know but it looks like you're actually wearing the wrong kind of shoes. I know that sounds pretty, like maybe it's too easy of a fix, but I think if you change the type of shoes that you've been wearing, number one, and then it also looks like whatever position that you're sleeping in, that's affecting it. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like it's kind of, like when your foot goes to sleep or something, but it looks like you're having a prolonged sensation over that, actually because of the way you're sleeping. So what you might want to do is just something as simple as changing footwear, and then put a pillow under your feet or under your leg at night, and I think that'll be a great improvement for you.
Thank you, Martha, so much for calling. Really appreciate that. We'll take one more quick one. Jeff in the Bronx, what's your question for Zenobia? Oh, we just lost him. Did we lose? Hold on. Are we there? Jeff in the Bronx, is he there? No? Okay, let's try Shelly in Queens. Shelly, how are you today? Is somebody there? Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello?
all right. I heard you, but you didn't hear me, I guess.
Sorry.
Well,
Okay,
thank you.
is this Shelly?
Yes.
Okay, darling. Thank you.
No problem. I'm just looking for hopefully some insight into my career within the next 6 to 12 months, if there's anything good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay. Well, from what I get immediately, it looks like, yes, there is going to be an improvement in terms of your situation with your career, because it looks like you've been doing some outside education that is going to help you. It'll really pay off. It'll be great. And then it also looks like there's going to be some changes in terms of the people that you work with. I feel like these are colleagues more so than people that you work directly with. So it looks like you need to reach out to them and, number one, tell them that you need some support. And then it also feels like you're going to have a career transition, which will be very beneficial for you. That feels like it'll happen more towards the end of this year.
Well, that's not bad. It's only 6 months. Very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Shelley, thank you so much. My guest is Zenobia Simmons, and we are going to take a very quick break and come back to your phone calls because I know that you are just chomping at the bit, ready to talk to this great lady. Her website will be up in 2 weeks. She has promised me. So I know that the next time she comes on, she'll have it. But in the meantime, to get in touch with Zenobia, you can email her at ZenobiaKay, K-A-Y, ZenobiaKay at AOL.com. ZenobiaKay at AOL.com. You said you're on Twitter, though, right?
Yeah.
What's your Twitter account?
It's Zenobia Kay, but not K-Y, just the letter K.
Just the letter K. So Zenobia, 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 the letter K, and that's her Twitter account.
Yes.
If you're on Twitter, you can see her there as well. But soon enough, she'll have this fabulous new website up and running. Zenobia Simmons, my guest psychic tonight. We are taking your phone calls at 800-848-WABC from the NJDiet.com studios. I'm Laura Smith, and you can find us on Facebook, Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. Please like the page, see who's going to be on, and any comments or questions are always welcome. That's Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. And I'm on Twitter, too, at Above Beyond LS. That's right. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Thank you for being with me on a Sunday night for hopefully lively conversation that makes you feel better, does kind of takes you to an inspired place in your life, and then also gives you free readings. Where else can you get that? And here on mainstream radio on the legendary WABC. It's always such a pleasure. Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. And Zenobia is my guest. She's been on a couple of times already, but I have great demand for her. People love connecting with her. And as I mentioned before, you see what she does here in a short amount of time. Having a half-hour session with Zenobia or an hour session, either on the phone or in person, I'll tell you what, it is worth it. She is so reasonably priced, and she is so wonderful, and I have been consulting her for years, literally years, like almost a decade now, and she never leads me astray. So always grateful to have her here. We're going to go back to the phones once again. Patty in Union City, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's your question, dear?
Okay. My question is about my health. I'm having some issues with high blood pressure and cholesterol, and I'm wondering, should I change doctors? Should I stick with what I'm doing now? What ought I be doing?
Okay. Well, from what I get immediately, yes, you should definitely change doctors. Okay. And it looks like and from what I see, if possible, you should also consult a nutritionist. I think that would help you a great deal, because from what I'm getting, you can change it. Like, you can improve your health over like 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like because what you're doing now it's working, and that's a good start. But if you kind of concentrate your efforts, I think that you'd be able to remedy the problem. From what I'm seeing before, I would say probably by February.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you can improve things by a great deal. And you also need to make sure that while you are incorporating a healthier lifestyle, you need to make sure that you're also doing, I would suggest, yoga, or even if possible, if you could do some swimming.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks like it would really help you. It'll make you feel a lot better.
Okay.
You know what, Patty? I do the 4 o'clock show here on WABC Radio with Dr. Douglas Howard. He's an integrative doctor and a leading nutritionist, and he's the one that got the fruits and vegetables into a capsule somehow. And there are so many reports, and in fact, our own Curtis Sliwa here on the radio station, his blood pressure was so high, like 220 over 140 for a while, and I got him to start taking the fruits and veggies, and he started consulting with them, and it really really has helped him a lot. Now, so I'm just saying I'm not a doctor or anything like that. And so this information isn't supposed to be taken that way. But I will tell you there, just what Zenobia is saying, the healthy lifestyle stuff and the nutrition and then the mindful exercise is really a help. But we wish you well, and call us back in a couple of weeks and let us know how you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. All the best to you. We got a lot of health questions this week, which is really interesting. Sometimes it trends that way with the shows. My guest is Zenobia Simmons. Zenobia is a wonderful psychic. And Jeff, I guess you have a health question, too. You're back on the phone?
Yes, I do, and thank you in advance for your courtesy and whatever God or the life force gives me through you. I was supposed to be in the hospital recently for what was supposed to be a routine pain management session. I get them often because I was born with a genetic condition there's no cure for. Instead, mysteriously, and they're not quite sure why, I lost consciousness for 1.25 days and almost died in the intensive care unit. So now I'd like to know what I need to know to make sure that doesn't happen again or try to avoid that again.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you had to go through that. Number one, I would say it would help you a lot. Is it possible for you to get someone that can act as, not as a nurse, but from what I'm getting, you need to have a lot more human contact. Like you need to have someone, if possible, come and check on you.
I have a home care attendant once weekly for 5 hours, and then if I have an emergency, my brother is retired and he's 2 blocks from me to help me.
Okay, so then your brother, because it feels like it should be a family member. You need to start doing almost kind of social interactive sessions with your brother where you two sit and talk and just kind of connect, if possible, at least for an hour every couple of days. Because from what I'm getting, it's almost like your, how should I I'm trying to put it into words, the vision that I'm seeing. It looks like your brain and your body had somewhat of a disconnect, so they weren't communicating with each other. And that's what caused it, just what I get intuitively, and that's what caused the kind of shutdown, because your body went into self-protection mode, and that's why you lost consciousness. So it's very important that you stimulate and maintain your physical activity as well as the mental activity. You have to combine the two.
Okay.
All right. And once you start doing that and you do it on a regular basis, that's going to help you a great deal. You'll see an immediate improvement.
Okay. Thank you very much and bless you.
Oh, and you too, Jeff. We hope you feel better. Much love to you. And again, this is we dispense advice here at Psychic Advice, she does. I don't really, but yes, and always, of course, consult your doctor. We don't claim to replace any of that. Let's go to Maria in Queens. Hi, Maria.
Hi. How are you?
What's your question, darling?
Well, I'd like to know if this is some sort of a light at the end of the tunnel in the way of job-related prospects and relationships and just all-around goodness in my future, if things are going to turn around for me soon.
Okay. Well, yes. Number one, it looks like things will turn around for you, for sure. So I know you've been going through an almost unbelievable amount of challenges, but what I get is that relationship will change first. So you'll get some encouragement, and you'll also feel like it was almost worth it for this person that, from what I'm feeling, the universe is going to send to you to renew your faith, not only in love, but just in terms of life. That'll happen first. Then with job, I don't see anything changing until next year. I know that'll be, that's difficult because it's kind of quite some time away, but you are going to get something. So it'll change. But yeah, I see a huge light at the end of the tunnel. So try not to get too discouraged because things are going to change. You're almost going into a cycle of positivity. So this last, it feels like it was 7 years.
Yeah.
You had a lot of difficulty for the last 7 years, but it's going to change because you're going into a 7-year positive cycle. You know, like you went from a 7-year negative cycle or experiencing a great deal of negativity, and now you're getting ready to roll into the positivity. It's just like the yin and yang.
Right.
So if you just hang in there, you are going to start a whole new way of life.
Maria,
Wonderful.
that's
Wonderful.
awesome. I'm so happy to hear that for you. And she predicted that for me a few years ago, and it came true in about the time frame exactly when she said so. All the best to you, my dear. Thank you so much. Maureen in Caldwell, New Jersey. Hi, what's your question for Zenobia?
Hello, nice to speak with you. I was wondering if you could tell me something about my daughter's new relationship, her love life.
Okay. Well, from what I get, your daughter's very happy. I feel an overwhelming sense of joy when I tune into her. So it looks like she feels like she is in a very serious long-term relationship. It looks like she. I'm sorry. Did you say something?
No.
Oh, okay. It feels like, it's a good relationship for her because she needs to feel some stability. So this is what she's getting from the relationship now. So what she needs from you, or what she would like from you, is just some support. So the next time that you speak with her, just sit there and listen to whatever she says. And the more that you sit and just offer your support, the more she'll open it up with you. And then she'll actually share a lot of what's going on with her love life and in her life. But it from what I get, it feels like it's a very good relationship. She's in a good place.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for calling. Elise in Red Bank, how are you today?
Fine.
And what's your question, dear, for Zenobia?
I seem to be worried a little bit about my son. What does she see in the future for him?
Okay. And I just have something I wanted to verify. Do you want me to look into the next year, the next months?
Within the next couple of months or so.
Okay. Well, it looks like he's going through a really hard time.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yep.
It's very dark. He doesn't feel that he feels it's a very hopeless situation. But that's not the case. He does have to kind of accept responsibility for putting himself in that position. So once he does that, because from what I get, he has not accepted that.
No, he doesn't.
He has to. If he doesn't, then he can't turn it around. So from what I get, he has about, I'd say, 3 months to kind of accept responsibility, face it head on, and then he can start down the path of healing.
Uh-huh.
If he does that, things will get better almost immediately.
Hopefully.
If he doesn't, it's going to be a long road ahead, and it's probably not going to change or improve for the next 6 months.
Yeah. He doesn't realize he has a lot of bad people around him.
Yes, but once he accepts responsibility, those people will start to go away on their own.
Hopefully.
All right, so just try to encourage him. He feels that everyone points the finger at him and puts a lot of blame on him. So anything that you do in terms of that, he will interpret it as being negative feedback.
Right.
So just try to be there for him and just kind of encourage him to arrive at this decision on his own.
Okay.
All right? But, yeah, he can turn it around. Things will change for him.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. My guest is Zenobia. She's a wonderful, wonderful psychic. And as you can hear, she gives great readings. And she does them here in a short amount of time. She gets right to the heart of the matter, like literally immediately. And if you'd like to see how she operates, because she's like full of peace and full of joy, and she just sits here, but she goes right in. You can go to our YouTube channel, Above and Beyond with Laura Smith, and see it there. Also, that's a great way. For example, the lady who just called about her son, if she wants her son to hear that answer, she can direct him to Above and Beyond with Laura Smith on YouTube and see it there, because we will be posting the video later on tonight. So really, it's a great way. Also, you can hear the podcast again on WABCRadio.com, WABCRadio.com. Go to Audio on Demand, click on Weekend Programming Sunday Shows, and voila, Above and Beyond with Laura Smith will pop up there, and you can hear your answers again. It's a great way to not forget what you were told in these great sessions tonight on the show. We're going to be back. We've got more phone calls, and we've got the great Zenobia here. You can reach her at ZenobiaKay at AOL.com. Zenobia, Kay at AOL.com. If you'd like to email her and get a longer reading, half hour or an hour. She's incredibly well priced, and it's worth a lot more than you're paying. Trust me, it's a keeper forever. It's worth its weight in gold. We'll be back. More from Above and Beyond. Don't go away.
Now, back to Laura.
Thank you, Jake Hirsch, with the beautiful voice. I forgot to thank you at the beginning of the program. Wonderful guy who opens up my program. Yes, let's see. We're going back to the phones because we have another segment to go on Above and Beyond with Laura Smith, the show that lets you connect with the greatest psychics and mediums in the world and human potential authors and speakers and such. It's an hour of inspiration, hopefully, for you, and that you get to see again if you go online to YouTube, Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. Let's go back. As I said, we're going to go to Paul this time. Hey, Paul from Long Island. What is your question for Zenobia?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I was just wondering, I bought a house a couple of years ago. We fixed it up, and I was hoping to do real estate and fixing up homes as maybe helping me get out of my job, which I feel I'm kind of stuck in. And unfortunately, the house cost us, quite a bit to fix up, and I'm not able to sell it. And I'm wondering if maybe you could see a possible sale in the future, or if I'm on the right track. Should I continue down this road? I'm pretty handy. That's why I did it, but...
So wait, I just want to make sure that I answer your question correctly. Do you mean, are you on the right track in terms of real estate, or on the right track in terms of career change?
Well, career, I'm doing okay, but I'm stuck. I don't see going further. So I was hoping to use this as maybe getting me in a different direction with more growth and opportunity to have a better future, provide for my kids and all that.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely, you're right, 100%. When I tune into you, you've hit the ceiling. So it looks like, from what I'm getting, this house that you have now, this is the property that you have the question about?
Well, the house, I'm living in a house, but I fixed up another one as an investment. So hopefully sell or rent, use that as a future method of income.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. The rental, I don't even know the right way to say it, but your additional property that you're trying to renovate, I guess, because it feels like you've renovated it pretty well. But what I think you need to do now is contact or get in touch with someone that can stage it for you. And
okay.
Yeah, that's what you need, because the improvements that you've made, the average person doesn't have as much knowledge as you about carpentry or all the different things that you've done to improve the property. So if you bring someone in that can stage it or assist you with that, then that will more easily bring that to the attention of potential buyers. And that's how you'll be able to make a very nice profit. And then that can be a springboard into your new career.
Fantastic. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All the best to you, Paul. We really wish you all the best. Let's go to Anna in New York City. Hi, Anna.
Oh, yes. Hello. And thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
The question that I had was, I want to move to the West Coast, and I want to know when I would move, if I would hear of anything, and I also wanted to know if there would be a man waiting for me there, like a soulmate.
Okay. Well, number one, it looks like in your move to the West Coast, from what I'm seeing, it'll work best for you if you do it around the end of this year, beginning of next year. It should be somewhere in there, because it looks like if you change your geographic location, you'll be changing your whole life. And I do think that you kind of have been a little stuck in the time that you've been where you're at now. It looks like there's definitely some type of almost psychic energy attached to that location. So it looks like it's been holding you back and kind of preventing you from moving forward. So, yeah, if you plan your move, from what I'm seeing, that's when you should try to schedule it. You can go almost as early as November, but it has to be in the fall. Because from what I'm getting, there's something, it'll be like you setting the restart button universally for yourself. And yes, you will be able to meet someone once you move there. It looks like it would be a very stable, long-term partnership. I don't know if it would be a soulmate, quote unquote, but it does look like that would be the right person that you're supposed to be with.
I see. And is there any reason that I could not go sooner than the fall? You said something about psychic. I don't understand. Psychic holding me up, or?
Well, just, real quickly, because we do have a lot of other callers waiting. From what I'm seeing, if you try to go before then, you're going to have a lot of delays. I don't think it will go as smoothly if you try to move before then.
Thank you so much, Anna, and all the best to you. We're going to go to Susan in Bristol, Connecticut. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
What's your question for Zenobia, please?
Well, I was kind of, I'm lost. My husband threw me a surprise divorce after 2 years of focused planning, and now my business, I was dismantling it, and am stuck in it. I don't know, first of all, I don't know how, I need guidance through this whole situation that I'm in. I feel like I have no future. It's gone. My husband, my best friend's gone. My future's gone.
I'm so sorry to hear that, and my heart goes out to you because I know that's a very difficult situation. But from what I'm getting, don't even though it's very hard to not feel like that, you shouldn't despair, because from what I get, even though it doesn't seem like it now, in a year from now, you will actually feel that this was a positive thing. I know that sounds almost insane, but I'm just telling you what I get psychically, because it's not over. This is actually the closing of one chapter, but the beginning of another chapter that you'll be more fulfilled, and you will feel a lot more loved than you've ever felt in your whole life. I know it sounds like that's almost impossible, but from what I'm getting, you're going to feel completely different. You'll get a new lease on life, and you'll actually feel that this is the beginning of your rebirth. But I'm sorry?
I was wondering, I don't know whether to try and start, getting the business back up, or do I just...
You should start over. Just don't... Well, yeah, I just really quickly, because I know we have to go. But yeah, start over. Don't try to resurrect this business.
Okay, my darling. And that sounds like it might be worth a longer session with Zenobia. Believe me, they're all worth longer sessions with Zenobia. You get so much out of them. It's like therapy on steroids and so much more. Okay, one final reading real quick. If we can do two final readings if they're lickety-split, like a minute each. Let's go first to Maryland and Queens. Quickly, what's your question, honey?
Question is, I come from a large family. 4 members of the family have cancer. One is going to go through bone cancer next month. The question I have is, I've always been a caretaker to all of them in the family, and I like to know where I stand in this second call. We just celebrated my brother's 70th birthday, which is the first one who lived this long.
So what is your question? I don't think
The question is hopefully longevity in my life, and will there be a soulmate, and will it still be here in New York?
Okay, well, I'll try to do it really quick because we're running out of time. Yes, you will have longevity in life, because it looks like your role as caretaker the universe is actually kind of going to reward you with health. So you will live a lot longer than what you think, I guess. And in terms of a soulmate, yes, you will meet a soulmate, but I don't think your soulmate's in New York. It looks like your soulmate's probably a state over, like Connecticut, New Jersey, but you should stay here.
All right, my dear, we're going to go to Eugenia for a real quick drive-by reading. Eugenia, real quick, what's your question?
Hi, I would like to know, I've been single for a long, long time, and I would like to know if there is anybody in the future for me.
Okay, here we go.
I'm ready to retire, and I feel...
Okay, hurry up. Let her answer you. We've got 2 minutes left, my dear.
Yes, I'm going to do the drive-by version. You will meet someone. You'll be able to share your life with a partner that will be there for you in every sense of the word. So don't give up in terms of thinking that you will find love. It is coming. And from what I see, it looks like you'll find someone probably in 3 months.
All right, Eugenia. Let us know. Call us up in 3 months and let us know. Sorry to rush you off like that, my friend, but we are at a minute left to the program, and I just want to say thank you to our illustrious and really wonderful and gifted psychic, Zenobia. You are so special. We both hail from the great state of Indiana. Hoosiers, yes. Well, I haven't lived there. Both of us haven't lived there for a lot of years. But,
forever.
But we're almost from the same place. You're from Fort Wayne. I'm from Elkhart, and it just happened to be that serendipitously we met in media, all these years later. But anyway, thank you so much for your grand and beautiful, generous heart and your generous gift. You are best of the best, and I'm so grateful always to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for always inviting me up to your show. I really, really appreciate that. You've been one of my earliest supporters and a big inspiration to me.
Well, I have a psychic prediction that you are going to really explode on the scene, especially when you get that website up in 2 weeks from now.
All because of you.
Oh, yes. There we go. So look for Zenobia. You can actually connect with her on her email, Zenobia Kay, ZenobiaKay, Zenobia Kay, Kay, Zenobia Kay at AOL.com. That's her email. And you can also find her on Twitter at
Zenobia Kay, ZenobiaKay.
The letter K.
Yep.
And that's where you can find her on Twitter. And in 2 weeks, she'll have a website up. You can also go to Above and Beyond with Laura Smith on Facebook and like it there, and I'll put her email address, or I'll put some way to find her there as well. And you can also listen again at WABCRadio.com. It's always such a pleasure. Thank you again, Zenobia.
Thank you.
Remember the woman with the name of a queen, Zenobia, and have a wonderful longer reading with her. It is so worth your time. It is so worth your money. I guarantee it. Lots of love to all of you. God bless you. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you here next week at 7 p.m. on Above and Beyond with Laura Smith. Much love.